Hello guys, it's your boy. It's your boy Ohio. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to speak about this book called the OAHSPE. As you can see, it's a book that was channeled. There's a lot of mystery on its origin. You cannot clearly state where it came from, but most of the information that's in it, it's very profound. I can just read to you roughly. OAHSPE, a new Bible in the words of Jehovah and his angel ambassador. A sacred history of the dominions of the higher and the lower heavens on the earth for the past 24,000 years, together with a synopsis of the cosmogony of the universe, the creation of planets, the creation of man, the unseen worlds, the labor and glory of gods and the goddesses in the ethereal heavens, with new commandments of Jehovah to man of the present day, with relation from the third year of the Cosmon era. OAHSPE Publishing Association, you get the publishing records. Editor's preface, I'm not reading that. Basically, it's just like the Bible, but it gives more information than the Bible. Like you can look at its glossary. They have definitions that are different from those in the Bible. Agi is a semi-dark, a dense region in the ethereal, which sometimes descends to the earth less than nebula. Agni, fire or light, especially without combustion or spirit light, a pillar of fire by day, as with the Israelites group going out of Egypt. Also, it's funny how Agni is the same word for fire in Sanskrit. Algonquin. It sounds like a tribe in North America. The United States of the North American Indians before the destruction by the Christians. Right. Anash, a wicked tongue, one of the Hebrew seven tetracts. See the word Satan. Okay. A spirit man, Su, also Sugan, and Ganspi. The word spirit does not define whether man or animal, but is often erroneously used instead of angel. Okay. Anubi, god of the scales, sometimes called god of justice. This must be Anubis of Egypt. The god who submerged the continent of Pan. See Book of Up and account of the flood. Apollo, you all know about the Apollo moon missions. Apollo, the god to whose duty was assigned beautifying mortals in form and figure. See Book of Apollo. He had many names as Sudhuga, Sugou, Chocho, Sudga, and so on. But the meaning is the same, whether in Chinese, Hindu, Greek, Latin, or English. Okay. Archangel, angels next in rank to God, who dwell in certain arcs in Etheria. They generally come down in the dawn of a cycle to give new inspiration to mortals, whilst they remain with mortals. As during the last few years, good mortals become more angelic towards one another. Asu, the first race of man to crawl on the belly. See Asu, Book of Jehovah. Asaphs, angels in heaven whose office it is to receive the spirit when a mortal dies and bear it to the place prepared for it. They are in organic association. Their rank is next below ushers. Some interesting definitions. Ushers, guardian angels who are appointed over mortals to be with them during life. They deliver the spirit in time of death into the hands of the Asaph. They also keep the record of the mortal, which is also given to Asaph in heaven, along with the newborn spirit, which is called the Anesian. For a certain season, ushers are next in rank to Lois. See word law is atmosphere. The earth vortex, see book of cosmogony. Atmosphere comprises the places and dominion of God of this planet. See the word God. Atum. It reminds me of the god Atum of Egypt. Aven. Avians. Seems like birds. Evil actions. One of seven Hebrew tetrarchs. See Saturn. Oh, the fallen angels or something like that. Babel. Confound by compounding too many things together as the ye hike language. Beast, the animal man, the earthly part of man, anything that is enforced as a religion. So beast is a religion. Belial, one of the seven Hebrew tetrarchs, hypocrisy crawling. See Satan. Bra or Brahman or Abraham, okay. Wisdom, knowledge, Bra was the founder of Brahminism and the contemporaneous with Abraham or Abraham. See first book of God. And under the false god Enochisa, the word Brahma became synonymous with warrior. Or like the Brahmins in India, how they conquered the indigenous people of India. They, they shed a lot of blood. It makes sense with that definition that they are giving here. Bride and bridegroom. This was used a lot with by in the stories of Jesus and his teachings. The emancipated degree of angels in heaven, a title bequeathed to all such as have gone beyond the bound heaven, atmosphere, and who are free from gods and saviors. As we say of man at 21 years, he is free from his father, he is strong enough to go alone. Buddha, all of you are familiar with this. Wisdom, knowledge, but afterward, under the false god, Kabbalactics. Hey, the word Buddha became synonymous with warrior. Oh, so they're talking about if those were forcing people to convert into their religion with violence, they corrupt the teachings. I don't know why they use this warrior definition, but hopefully the book will explain more as we go forward. Kapilia, a deliverer, a man of India, contemporaneous with Moses. And like Moses, he delivered the faithists out of bondage, not by migration, but by establishing their freedom throughout India. He also wrote miracles, sometimes spelled Capella. A star was named after him. Can we confirm this really? Let me see if there's a star named Capella. I'm not getting anything at the moment. It must be the Wi-Fi misbehaving. Capilia. I don't know what's happening. Well, let's keep that aside a little bit. Copper. Whatever has length, breadth, and thickness and is tangible to sight, hearing, and feeling, the extreme opposite condition from ether or solution or rarefaction. The definitions are quite clear. It's hard for me even to find scientific materials that talk about rarefaction. But this, the word copper, seems to define things that have volume or have been expressed through the magnetic reality which we perceive by our senses. Corporean. A man of the earth, any man, all men, in contradistinction from an angel who is a man of a spirit. Chaotics, deranged angels such as are killed in war or in anger. So all those people that die in war or in anger, they are called chaotics. Chine, a deliverer, a man of China, contemporaneous with Moses and Capilia. He was to China a great deliverer. He was an Yesu by birth and wrought miracles. The country China was named by him after him. After his death and his body was reduced to ashes, Jehovah caused a wind to gather up the ashes and restore China to life for 7 days, during which time he preached before the kings and the people. Then Jehovah sent down a ship of light and bore China up to heaven. See Doctrines of China, this work. This story sounds similar to that of Elijah and Enoch. Chinvat, the boundary between the rotating atmosphere of the earth and the ether beyond, called also Bridge of Chinvat. Christ or Christe, wisdom, knowledge, education. After the false god Loemong falsely took his name, it became synonymous with Boria. So this Loemong was the one who brought the sacrifice concept into Christianity that we talk about. Christians or Christians, a brotherhood of warriors, they were named Christians in the region by the Hebrews. One who rushes into multitude of rioters and with a sword enforces peace is a true Christian. A people whose faith is in arms and standing armies. The following words are synonymous: Brahma, Buddha, Christ, Christe, Baal, Ashtaroth, Dagon, Vishnu, Ashdod, knowledge, wisdom, Krishna, light, Po, Tein, Wa, Manito, and in fact, a score of others. Crucify, to melt, to test by fire, to test by binding. The original form of testing a Suis or Sagis medium was by binding him on a wheel. Dan, light, a cyclic dawn, as the arc of Speta or arc of Bone. A dawn comes once every 3,000 years and is preceded by spirit manifestations and by signs and wonders. A dawn lasts about 33 years. There are also subcycles of 200, 400, and 600. Dan is synonymous with Dang. Is it also, can you consider it Deng from Sudan? That's just my assumption. But hopefully we'll find out more as we research these things. You can find that these definitions are really interesting, and if you try to think about them and how it relates with how currently people are defining them, it sheds a lot about what is hidden, especially in these religions and the government and these things. These definitions give it a clear meaning, like how the judges and the court system are related to the church because they are part of the Christians. They have standing armies. They depend on violence to establish themselves. Daveas or Daevas, bad angels, spirits that deceive and tempt. A prince of liars, in the Vedic scriptures equivalent to devil in English. Deity or Dyaus, one of the gods of the lower heavens who pretends to be the creator. He was afterwards cast into hell by his own subjects, the false god Anuhasaj. Deba, one of the Hebrew seven tetrarchs, Atatla, see Satan. Div or diva or divinity, a parliament of lords in the lower heavens. The Divian laws were in use 3,000 years. See Book of Divinity. Drak, Druk, a low mortal, one who desires no spiritual light, one who can not understand spiritually, an evil man, a warrior. Druj. Druj applies to an angel, the same as Druk to a mortal. Low, dark, evil, dangerous. Ewahta. Hewahta. A North American Indian, a king, a kind of Abraham, with whom he was contemporaneous. S. The unseen world. Worlds, not world. I.e. unseen to mortals. This word is used in the feminine synonymous with the spirit world. See Book of Jehovah. Esenaurs. Esenaurs. Heavenly music comprised of singers and instrumental players. Esians. A newborn spirit. When a mortal dies and his spirit departs into heaven, it is called an Esian. An infant spirit. The name Asian, it retains as long as it is helpless, perhaps a year or 5 years or 100 years. See the word purgatory. Eth, the solvent of copper. What dissolved the material world or something like that from the previous definition of copper or corporeal. As water is the solvent of a salt, so is it the solvent of corporeal substance, of which latter hydrogen is one of the most sublimated. As a corporeal man dwells on the earth, and as an Asian dwells in atmosphere, so do the advanced angels dwell in the earth in Etheria. Etheria, beyond the atmosphere, the great firmament where are situated the higher heavens, the homes of the gods and the goddesses. Etheria as a place is nirvana, faith, a convinced belief, a condition of mind fully satisfied, next to actual knowledge. We have faith the sun will rise tomorrow morning, but the knowledge cannot be actual until after sunrise. Faithist, one who has faith in Jehovah being over all and within all to a wise and definite purpose. One who has no faith, who has not faith in anything but Jehovah. One who endeavors to make himself in unison with Jehovah by doing good unto others and in striving to put away self-gratification. An unresistant, the opposite from Uzians. Fatal, a suckling, also one that gives suck, more especially an absorbent. As a young child sleeping with a very old person is robbed of its vitality. The imperceptible nutrition, the unseen current of life that passes from one person to another. A healer gives haoma, fetal food, to the sick, similar to Homa in Kiswahili. Very interesting. A child that dies before birth as a fetal spirit. It is fettled on a mortal until it attains development. Many full-grown spirits, angels, fettle themselves on mortals and so live. These are called vampire fetals, persons who have been drunkards or gormandizers on flesh food. After death, fettle themselves on other mortals living on their atmosphere, especially of drunkards and smokers and gross eaters. Firmament, the word of space between the stars and planets. Fragapati, a god of the highest rank, a Nirvanian chief in the Hindu scriptures. He is denominated he is denominated a creator. See booth of Fragapati. God or Eod or Jos sound similar to Iad in Enochian. An angel in rank next to above the Lord and next below Orient chief. One who is sufficiently wise and powerful to take charge of a planet and its atmosphere in heaven. His assistant on the throne is called Vice God. Golgotha, a temple of skulls. Great Spirit, the universe is earth, copper, sky, and spirit, the three in one, are Jehovah. As the spirit of a man is to the man, so is the great spirit of Jehovah through Great Spirit is also used as synonymous with Jehovah. Gautama, the cosmological name of America, literally the last spirit foundation, the last revelation, sometimes spelled Gautama. This sounds similar to Gautama, Gautama, the Indian, the Buddhist Indian. Also, the island Guatemala tends to sound the same. I bet all these things are related historically if you look into it. Ham, cosmological name of Egypt. The followers of Abraham bestowed that country's name on him after they settled there. One who is black with sunburn. Haoma, food. Food for sacrament, also spiritual food. Unseen food, the unseen substance that passes from one to another, improperly called magnetism. Okay, so magnetism is Homa. Hell, anarchy in heaven, especially in Hada, the lowest heaven, where angels torment one another. When an earthly tyrant dies, evil spirit seizes his newborn spirit for vengeance sake and cast him into hell. Hirom, a Zarathustrian heart, a heart red with blood, a rimless heart renowned by her back, a faithist, who was cast down into a den of lions. The heart was afterward recovered. The master in the lodge where the heart, during which time he is saluted as cardinal or Hiram, which is a Hamic word for the red heart. This sounds like the Masonic story of Hiroma Beth. Hiroma Beth, I don't know how they pronounce it. And the red heart also looks similar to Santa and the Fijian heart, if you look at it. Yesu, similar to Yesu, Kiswahili for Jesus, or Jesus, Jesus. A sexless person, one without the possibility of sexual passion. Some men, as Brahma, attain to Yesu, improperly called Jesus. The Hebraic word you was made from Yesu, one who can hear the voice of the Great Spirit. He who has been improperly confounded with Jehovah. Men who attain Yesu are said to have attained the state of woman, i.e. to have changed sex. Ahins. The battery is low. Let me go to the place. Niko na record vitu Nuru. Okay, where was I? Yesu, I've read Yesu. Ihins, the rest born of Asu and angels, or those that mix with the fallen ones, the fallen angels, the story that we get from the Bible and Enoch. Yeah, the rest born of Asu and angels, the half-breeds, from whom we are the descendants. Ihuans, half-breeds between Ihins and Drax, the copper-colored race. Are they talking about us? Ihuans. because as so-called Negroes, the copper-colored people. Ihua Mazda. I've heard about this Mazda name before. I can't remember why. God of Zarathustra. See Book of God's Word. Isa or Isaiah. Isaiah, a Chinese prophet. The word Isaiah is of modern Hebrew. Most likely the ancient Phoenician disguised the Chinese name purposefully. Purposely is faith and knowledge are above the earth or the Enochian within. Ah, ah, ah. Let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. Let me see this. Ah, ah. Because in Enochian, aha means the inmost God, and it has something closer to that meaning. Let me just confirm. Because as I'm reading this book, I try to find if there are any correlation with any other material that's independent from this book, materials that's related to the Bible, or materials that's even free from the Bible. Like the word or means the inner self. Shh. Means the inner self. Ah, above the earth. A prophet, Isaac, Isaac, is faithist in something above the earth. Israel, faith in Jehovah, a password in the fourth degree of a lodge of prophets. Ra, however, in Hebrew is evil. That's contradictory according to my personal understanding of Raha. Ra, which means light, or Raha, mstaharabu. Jehovah, one who can hear Jehovah's voice, is Yesu or Yesu. Eu or Yesu. Some scholars have erroneously used the word Jehovah, Elohim, and Eu as synonymous. J. Pertaining to nebulae, but less dense, see tablet Simoin, Book of Safa. Judas, from the Persian name Zohodas, betrayer of Zarathustra. See Book of God's Word. Kingdom, synonymous with Jove, or an organic association with a head. The head on earth is king, in heaven, Jove's or God or Jove or Jos. Cosmon era. Cosmon era, universal knowledge, copper and spirit. Universal fellowship in all nations. I think this is the era which we are entering into right now. Leotonas, Pharaoh's daughter, Moses' protectoress. Okay, that's not given in the Bible. Louise, angels who provide the prenatal condition for such mortal births as are designed for special work by the gods or lords, synonymous with masters of generations, next in rank to lord. Their smallest organization is 100,000 members, next rank above ashes. So Lord, a god of the earth or of part of the earth, next lower in rank than the god of heaven and earth. The first exalted rank, an angel receives in heaven is Asaph. The second is Asher. The third is Lois. The fourth is Marshall. The fifth is Lord. And the sixth is God. So God is an angel. Marshals are rather vice lords and are not titled. The first title is Lord, the second God. God sometimes appoints a lord to a single city on earth, sometimes one to a nation. A lord's minor dominion is 100 million angels, and a major several thousand millions are majors. So these military ranks are also related to angels. Lords must have passed beyond the second resurrection before eligibility. Lord God, an angel that fulfills both offices, Lord Self or False Lord. As the name implies, any angel that announces himself to mortals as an officer in heaven is false. Lasters, angels who maintain sex in the S world by proximity to mortals, nocturnal visitors for the secret vice, the cause of the evil habit in men, and also the producers of harlots among women. Lasters. I feel this has relation to the succubus incubus thing. Moses, a basket baby, a come by chance. See full story of Moses in the book of the Ark of Boon. Nubulai, a dense atmosphere of corporeal substance. Nirvana, emancipated ethereal heavens beyond the earth's heaven, the higher heavens. OAHSPE, sky, earth, copper, and spirit. They all the sum of corporeal and spiritual knowledge as at present. OASP sounds like a name for an angelic name in the Enochian magic, like Oro Iba OASP. Oro Iba OASP. I think that's a. I don't know it relates to which element. Maybe it's air. Let me just look. I can confirm these things. So I wait. Yeah, it's right. I'm right. I'm right. OASP, Oro Iba, OASP. That's a god name in the air tablet in the Enochian magic. The great table. There's four great tables for the four elements, and one of the angel. They have three names. The first God name starts with three letters like Oro. Iba is for Ibah, which is the second name. Oaspi, which is the last name of the angel that deals, God angel that deals with that sphere. And it's funny how it relates with how it ties with the sky. Orion, same as Nirvana, or Mazd, or light. Mazd, master light equivalent to Jehovah. Osire, Osirire, philosophy of measurement. One who maintains the only one who maintains that only what can be measured or weighed is real knowledge. The sun is the greatest, therefore the sun is the almightiest. Also a god. See Book of Osiris. There was also a false god Osiris of later date who inspired the building of the pyramids. So Osiris is a false god. Pan. Like we had the pandemic recently. Original name of the earth from like they say, is the higher heavens or the higher atmosphere above the lower heavens, something like that. And also in Anoki and relates with the inner self. As I see what I see, and only what I see, is the name of the continent in the Pacific Ocean submerged about 24,000 years ago. See Book of Earth, the flood. So this is the story where we get the Atlantis myth and all these things. In India, I don't know what they call it. There's a myth in India also of a sinking island. I think it relates with this, and also the story about the Pleiadians and how the Earth sank due to volcanic activities and imbalances of the Earth crust, something like that. Sacrifice, worship, to give one's time or property or money without an equivalence. Also to burn or destroy for appeasing the gods. Satan, the chief of the seven Hebrew tetrarchs, reckoned the worst of all the human passions. A leader, the captain of the selfish passions, the real self, selfishness per se, see Book of God's Word. Sargon Akkad. This name reminds me of Sargon Akkad. Who's Sargon Akkad, if I remember? Sargon Akkad. Who is this Sargon Akkad? Too bad. Nipitishe kwa simu mebo. Sargon Akkad. Sargon Akkad. I don't know how my laptop is misbehaving. Let me look at it from the phone. This Sagi sounds something like Sargon Akkad. The root words sound the same. Sargon of Akkad, yeah, the one-eyed king, something like that. Yeah, I bet it was significant. The rule of the Akkadian Empire of the Sumerian city-states in the 24th to 23rd centuries BCE. Okay, Sargon Akkad, Sagis. Let's see if it's related. A materialized angel or a person in whose presence the angels can take on the semblance of mortal form. I'll have to check that story and see if it relates. Semu or Sehemu. Okay. I'm just making it up. Don't take it serious. Sehemu is just a place in Swahili. I'm just trying to see if these words can relate to any other languages that we are familiar with. Gelatin, the preceding substance of the living. Semuan age, before the creation of animal life, or at the beginning of that time. See Book of Jehu. Shem, one of the ancient names of India. See Submersion of Pan, Book of Earth, the Lord's first book, and the Lord's first book. Shepherd Kings, a nickname to a wandering tribe who kept flocks of goats in the southwest of Persia. They migrated into Egypt and became powerful. At first, they were mild and resistant, but afterwards, they became savage warriors, such of them as did not apostatize, but kept themselves wholly separated from the others, and became the founders of Ebra, which afterwards became Hebrew, which afterwards became Jew, from whom Abram was descended. These were therefore the cream of the ancient Zoroastrians of 3,000 years before. So that's related to the Bantus, because the Zoroastrians thing is still practiced by the Bantus in some coastal parts of Africa, East Africa. Shiri, like the book of Siri that came from eastern coast of Africa. Spirit, a breath, sometimes angel, Sihiri. Syria. Spirit, synonymous but not correctly with angel. When we say water, we may not mean the ocean, but when we say ocean, we may mean water. When we say angel, we do mean a spirit, but when we say spirit, we may not mean an angel. Suis. Suis, clairaudience and clairvoyance. A person who can see with the eyes closed or one who can hear angel voices. Not imaginary, but that which can be proved by experiment. Tau or Tarus, something like that. I'm seeing a bull. Bull, false, opposite from cow, which is receptivity, a time of the zodiac when nature enforces growth. In some countries, the church representative is a white bull. In others, as the Roman Catholic, the Pope issues a bull merely as an edict. Yeshua, a heavenly kingdom. Yeshua is the original of Yesu and you and Joshua. Utiv, Brahma's wife. A stream of light pierced their graves and brought them forth, and they ascended to heaven in a sea of fire. And briefly, that's the definitions in the book, or what they call them. Uh, Glossary. The glossary of the terms used in the book and the context in which they are used in this book. This lower monk thing, we shall look at it later. We'll stop at that. But some of these things are interesting. The next video will be going into. I'll not read this summary. I'll just go straight to the first book. I'll just go straight to the first book, the OAHSPE. I'll start from OAHSPE next time.